Do you ever feel like you're everywhere except with yourself? Like your energy is pulled in 100 directions, but none of them lead back to you. You wake up tired, you go to sleep anxious, and in between, you spend your day trying to fix everything but your own peace of mind. Sound familiar? What if the real reason you're exhausted isn't because you're doing too much, but because you're focused on all the wrong things? Have you ever felt like life is tugging at you from every direction? Work, family, society, and till there's barely anything left for you. You try to be everything to everyone. You try to control things way beyond your reach, and yet all it leaves you with is anxiety, burnout, and a strange emptiness that you can't explain. But pause for a second. Really ask yourself, what am I truly focusing on? Now imagine gathering all that scattered energy, all those fragments of yourself, and pulling them back inward. Imagine redirecting that power toward what you can control: your thoughts, your emotions, your daily actions. What would happen then? This is the heart of Stoicism, a philosophy rooted not in theory, but in daily practice. It has guided warriors, emperors, and ordinary people through chaos for over 2,000 years. Why? Because it teaches one core truth. If you master your inner world, the outer world cannot break you. In this video, I'll share 6 powerful Stoic principles that will help you take your energy back right now. These aren't just ideas to inspire you. These are tools to change you. So before we begin, take a breath, reflect, and ask yourself, where is your attention flowing in? Is it serving you or draining you? 1. What are you really focusing on? Have you ever felt completely drained and you don't even know why? It's like you're moving all day, but going nowhere. You're constantly busy, yet strangely unfulfilled. You wake up, and it's as if you're being sucked into an invisible whirlpool, pulled deeper by deadlines, opinions, fears. At first you might blame your job, the chaos around you, other people. But what if the real problem isn't out there? What if the real problem is where your energy is going? Picture an hourglass, but instead of sand, what's falling through is your mental energy. Every worry, every distraction, every overthinking thought, it's all taking a little bit more. And here's the catch: you don't have an unlimited supply. Every day you get a set amount, and once it's gone, it's gone. So here's the crucial question: where are you letting your energy flow? The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." In other words, your suffering doesn't come from life, it comes from the lens through which you view it, from where your mind chooses to focus. If you feel like life is out of control, maybe it's not that life is too hard, but that your focus is trapped in the wrong place. You may be obsessing over what others think, replaying old regrets, or worrying about things you'll never be able to change. It's like sitting in a sinking boat and, instead of bailing out the water, you're drilling new holes. You can blame the world, or you can take your energy back. Your mind is like a room. If you constantly open the doors to every intrusive thought, fear, doubt, resentment, soon that room becomes crowded, chaotic, suffocating. But guess what? You control the door. You decide what comes in. You decide what stays out. And more importantly, you decide where to let the light in. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that exhaustion only comes from physical work or intense stress. But in reality, the greatest drain on your energy isn't from doing too much, it's from thinking too much about the wrong things. Most of your energy doesn't disappear because you're running around. It vanishes silently, lost in the noise of unnecessary thoughts, those quiet mental leaks that slowly, invisibly empty your inner reservoir. And the most dangerous part, you rarely notice them until you're already depleted. You don't feel tired because you're overworked. You feel tired because you're overwhelmed by thoughts that don't deserve your attention. Are you constantly worrying about what others think of you? Then you've just handed them your energy. Did someone leave a rude comment online, and now your whole mood has changed? You've just given a stranger the power to control your emotional state. Are you stuck reliving a mistake from years ago? Then you're pouring today's energy into a past you cannot change. Here's the hard truth. The world doesn't care whether you stress about these things or not, but you will still feel the weight of that mental exhaustion, and one day when you truly need strength to push forward, to pursue your goals, to rise through hardship, you might realize that you've already spent so much of your energy on things that never really mattered. But once you recognize this, you're faced with a choice. Will you keep allowing your energy to leak into meaningless places? Or will you reclaim it and redirect it toward what truly matters? That is what separates a Stoic from the rest of the world. Stoics still feel emotions, but they learn to place them where they belong. Instead of spending the day worrying about things beyond their control, they focus on what's within their reach. Instead of letting emotions be hijacked by others, they observe them without instantly reacting, instead of wasting precious energy on drama and conflict. They invested in something far more powerful, sharpening their mind and strengthening their spirit. If you want control over your life, it doesn't start with changing the outside world. It starts with changing where your attention goes. Now, I know this isn't easy, but you're not on this journey alone. I'm here, through this video, to walk beside you, and I want you to remember this. Focusing on yourself isn't selfish. It's an act of self-acceptance. When you choose to redirect your energy toward what truly matters, you must also accept what you have to let go of: toxic relationships, the craving for approval, old habits that quietly sabotage your growth. And that's where many people hesitate, because letting go isn't just hard, it's scary. Not everyone is ready to move forward when they realize that real change might mean leaving certain people, places, or mindsets behind. But here's the truth you must hold on to. You cannot move forward if you keep looking back. If you genuinely want to change your life, you must accept that not everyone will come with you. That's not cold. That's clarity. Your life isn't just a random series of events. It's the result of what you choose to focus on. If you spend your days consumed by what you cannot control, you'll become a prisoner locked inside your own mind. But if you learn to shift your energy from worry to action, from reaction to awareness, from trying to control others to mastering yourself, you will unlock a deeper kind of freedom. So now, I'll ask you one final question. Where will you let your energy flow? Will you keep wasting it on things that don't matter? On fleeting opinions, pointless drama, and distractions that drain your soul? Or will you finally choose to harness it to build the strongest, clearest, and calmest version of yourself? Take a breath, take a moment, and reflect. Will you take control? Or will you let your mind drift aimlessly yet again? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below. Your brain is a powerful machine. It remembers everything, every experience, every emotion, every scar from the past. But what's even more remarkable is that it doesn't just store these memories, it replays them again and again. Because to the brain, familiarity feels safe, whether it's good or bad. This is why so many people stay stuck in cycles of anxiety, disappointment, and emotional paralysis, even when they know those patterns are damaging. They recognize the pain, but they still return to it. Have you ever caught yourself thinking the same negative thought over and over? Have you ever wondered why your old fears and insecurities seem to come back no matter how hard you try to let them go? It's because your brain is keeping you trapped in a loop built from past experiences. And it does this not to hurt you, but to protect you. According to Stoic philosophy, true freedom doesn't come from eliminating external struggles. It comes from transforming the way we respond to them, as the Stoic teacher. Epictetus once said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." In simpler terms, it's not the world outside that holds us back. It's the unexamined thoughts within us. If we continue to see life through the lens of fear, doubt, or failure, we aren't just reacting to reality, we're building one. Modern neuroscience confirms what the Stoics understood long ago. The brain is not fixed, it's adaptable. It has neuroplasticity, the ability to rewire itself and form new connections. That means you can literally reshape your brain by changing your thoughts. Sounds powerful, right? But here's the catch most people miss. Your brain doesn't want change, it wants survival. And to survive, it chooses the easiest path, the one it already knows. Even if that path is paved with anxiety or fear. That's why it's so hard to break free from old mental loops. You're not just fighting a thought, you're fighting a well-worn pattern in your brain. Imagine walking along a dirt trail that's been walked on for years. Every time you think in the same old way, you're walking that same path, making it clearer, stronger, more automatic. But if you want a different future, you'll need to step off that trail, into tall grass, uneven ground, the unknown. At first, it feels uncomfortable, maybe even wrong. But with each step, with each new thought, you begin to carve a new path. And if you keep walking it long enough, that new path becomes your new default, while the old one slowly fades into the past. So how do you begin? It starts with one simple but powerful act. Recognize the pattern. You can't change what you refuse to acknowledge. Try this. Imagine stepping outside your own mind, becoming an observer instead of a participant. When a negative thought arises, don't immediately believe it. Ask yourself, is this thought true, or is this just a habit? The moment you see that a thought is just an old echo, not a fact, its power begins to fade. Then comes the next step. Change your response. Don't spiral. Don't react out of habit. Pause. Just pause. That moment of pause is the moment you take back control. Ask yourself, is there another way to see this? If you keep responding the same way, you'll keep getting the same results. But if you shift your perspective even slightly, you open the door to new outcomes. And here's what's truly fascinating. When your thoughts change, your actions change. When you stop believing the same old lies about yourself, you start taking new steps. When fear stops ruling your mind, you start stepping outside your comfort zone, and when your actions change, your entire life begins to shift. But make no mistake, this doesn't happen overnight. Your brain will resist. It will try to pull you back toward what feels familiar, even if it hurts you. There will be days when you feel like you've made no progress. That's okay. That's part of the process. The goal is not to erase negative thoughts. That's impossible. The goal is to recognize them and choose how you respond. Every time you pause and choose a new direction, you create a new trail. And if you keep walking that path, step by step, thought by thought, that path becomes your new normal. So, the only question left is this: are you willing to change the way you think in order to change the way you live? 3. Master your mind and emotions. You are what you think. That's not just a motivational quote, it's a powerful truth that shapes your entire life. If you start paying attention, you'll realize something astonishing. People who constantly dwell on failure often continue to fail, not because they're less talented or unlucky, but because their minds are wired to expect defeat. Meanwhile, those who believe in growth and their potential move with quiet confidence, then that mindset pushes them towards success. Here's what's even more incredible. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what you imagine. It simply reacts to the thoughts you feed it. If you keep reliving painful memories, harsh criticisms, or moments of embarrassment, you're building an invisible prison, one thought at a time. But what if you shifted your focus? What if you began feeding your mind with opportunities, growth, and hope instead of fear? You'd unlock a version of yourself you never thought possible. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Such as are your habitual thoughts, such also will be the character of your mind, for the soul is dyed by the thoughts." Your soul, your entire being, is colored by what you think about most. If your daily mental diet is filled with fear, anxiety, and self-doubt, those thoughts eventually shape your reality. But if you plant seeds of courage, clarity, and resilience, your mind becomes a powerful inner sanctuary and unshakable, even in the face of chaos. The real difference between people who rise and those who collapse under pressure lies in this emotional mastery. That doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending they don't exist. You're human. Emotions will rise, but you can choose how you respond to them. Ask yourself, when you make a mistake, what's your first reaction? Do you instantly say, "I'm such an idiot"? Or do you pause and think, "That was a lesson, I'll do better next time"? The way you talk to yourself matters more than any critic ever will. If you constantly repeat, "I'm not good enough," your brain listens, it obeys. But if you say, "I am capable, I deserve success," you start rewiring your internal code. It's not delusion, it's mental conditioning. Now, picture this. You're standing on a ship, drifting across the ocean. Every thought you have is a gust of wind. If you let fear, insecurity, and anger guide the sails, you'll drift endlessly, lost in emotional storms. But if you adjust your sails toward confidence, focus, and perseverance, you take control of your course. Mastering your thoughts doesn't mean being unrealistically positive. It means choosing what to focus on. It means deciding which thoughts deserve your energy and which don't. And here's a powerful technique used by the world's top performers: visualization. Elite athletes don't just train their bodies, they train their minds. They close their eyes and imagine themselves winning, feeling each movement, breath, and heartbeat. Why? Because the brain reacts to imagined success almost the same way it does to real victory. And when your brain believes it's possible, your actions align to make it real. So, what would happen if you started every day like that? Not in chaos, not in self-doubt, but with intention. Before jumping into the rush of the day, spend just a few moments tuning your mindset. Meditation helps you observe and reset your thoughts. Journaling lets you track your growth and clarify your focus. Reading inspiring words fills your mental space with strength, not noise. Do this consistently, and you won't just survive the day, you'll command it. Because when you master your mind and emotions, life no longer happens to you. You happen to life. You're no longer someone who's easily shaken by fleeting emotions or external noise. But even with the best preparation, there will still be moments, unexpected ones, when your mind gets caught in a wave of emotions or dark thoughts. And that's okay, because the goal isn't to wipe them out completely. That's not realistic. The real power lies in recognizing them without letting them take over. Seneca said it best: emotions themselves aren't the issue. It's how we respond to them that defines us. You can feel fear without acting out of it. You can feel anger without letting it make your decisions for you. Freedom begins the moment you notice what's happening inside your mind, and you choose to respond with calm intention. This kind of mental discipline isn't built overnight. It's not a one-time achievement. It's a journey, a lifelong one. But with every step you take, you grow stronger. Start today. Observe your thoughts. Change how you speak to yourself. Visualize your highest self. Set a positive intention each morning before the world gets noisy. Because when you truly take charge of your mind, you don't just change yourself, you change everything around you. If you've made it this far into the video, it says something powerful about you. In a world full of noise and instant gratification, most people give up halfway. But not you. You're still here, still moving forward, still choosing growth. Drop a comment that says "mind in control" to mark this moment as your declaration that you're no longer letting life happen to you. You're leading it. And if this message speaks to you, subscribe to the channel so you never miss the insights that will strengthen your mindset and energy. Don't go anywhere, because the next part is where it all comes together. A Stoic doesn't resist an opponent's attack with brute strength. Instead, they redirect the energy calmly, wisely. That's what real energy management is about. Not suppression, not tension, but intelligent redirection. To master this, the Stoics didn't just react, they prepared. One of their most powerful practices is premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of misfortune. In other words, they mentally rehearsed what could go wrong before it ever happened. Picture this. You begin your day already knowing someone might dislike you, that your plans may be disrupted, that unexpected problems could arise. So when they do, you're not surprised. You don't spiral into frustration or waste your energy with emotional reactions. You simply say, I expected this. This quiet preparation becomes your shield. It protects your mind and preserves your energy from being drained by trivial annoyances. Above all, the Stoics embraced one key principle: only invest energy in what is within your control. Epictetus said it best: some things are up to us, and some things are not. When you internalize this truth, you begin to see just how much energy is wasted on things that never truly mattered. Think of a glass shattering. You have two choices: react with anger, blame, and tension, or accept it, take action, and move on. The event doesn't change, but your energy, your experience does. So ask yourself, what if you stopped trying to control life through force and started guiding your energy with intention? What if negative emotions weren't enemies, but signals, fuel for better action? What if you fully accepted that bad things will happen, but decided they won't break you? Because true control doesn't come from clenching your fists. It comes from knowing when to open your hand and release what no longer serves you. Like a Stoic swordsman who doesn't meet a strike head-on, but shifts effortlessly, letting the blade pass without harm. You can keep exhausting yourself, fighting reality, or you can redirect that power. The choice is yours. But even the best energy management means nothing if you stay in a toxic environment. It's like trying to stay afloat in a sinking boat. You might manage for a while, but eventually you drown. That the Stoics understood. Your mind doesn't exist in isolation. It's shaped quietly, constantly, by the world around you. The people you engage with, the habits you repeat, the information you absorb, it all matters. And if you want to take control of your inner world, you must first take control of the outer one you choose to live in. That brings us to rule number 5. Your environment shapes your identity. Have you ever seen a crab in a bucket? Alone, it can climb out easily. But when several are placed together, the moment one tries to escape, the others pull it back down. Sound familiar? Your environment, your friends, your workspace, the content you consume can either help you rise or hold you captive. And if you don't consciously choose your surroundings, you'll be just another crab, pulled down by the rest without even realizing it. As Epictetus once said, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Let's explore exactly how this principle doesn't only apply to the people in your life, extends to every space you occupy, mentally and physically. Who do you spend the most time with? Where do you live? What kind of information do you feed your mind every day? These aren't just casual questions, they are the foundation of your energy, your focus, and ultimately, your future. Let's begin with the most powerful influence. The people around you. Picture yourself as a small flame. If you're surrounded by other strong flames, your fire grows. But if you're constantly exposed to cold winds, your light dims slowly, quietly, until it disappears. People affect us the same way. Surround yourself with chronic complainers, constant victims, or those stuck in cycles of self-doubt, and they'll drag you down without you even realizing it. Like crabs pulling each other back into the bucket, they'll keep you stuck. You'll find yourself second-guessing everything, procrastinating more, and gradually losing the drive to grow. But what happens when you place yourself among people who are disciplined, motivated, and constantly evolving? You start to rise. Not because they push you, but because their energy syncs with yours. This is the law of psychological synchronization. Whether we're aware of it or not, we begin to mirror the behaviors, language, and attitudes of those closest to us. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't believe in blaming bad luck or external conditions. They believed in making deliberate choices. And one of the most life-changing choices you can make is deciding who you allow into your mental space. Now let's talk about the space you live in, your room, your workspace, your surroundings. A cluttered room often reflects a cluttered mind. If your environment is chaotic, peace and focus become hard to find. The Stoics didn't separate the external world from the internal one. They knew simplicity outside creates clarity inside. So take a moment. Look around your space. Does it inspire you to grow? Or is it silently contributing to your mental stagnation? And then, there's something even more underestimated: your mental diet. In this digital age, your mind is constantly under siege. Notifications, news, alerts, social media feeds, endless advertisements. If you're not mindful, your head becomes filled with noise, anxiety, and comparison. Marcus Aurelius warned us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you constantly consume fear, anger, gossip, And drama, don't be surprised when you start thinking and feeling that way. But when you feed your mind with wisdom, curiosity, and growth, you begin to think stronger, act wiser, and live more deliberately. So here's what you can do. First, cut off toxic connections. That doesn't mean you start a war. It means setting firm boundaries. It means choosing to give your time and energy only to those who lift you higher. If someone consistently drains you with negativity or excuses, ask yourself, do I truly need this person in my life anymore? Second, create an environment that serves your growth. This doesn't require wealth or luxury, just intentional space. A clean desk, an organized room, a space that invites focus and creativity. This isn't decoration, it's preparation for your next chapter. Third, guard your attention fiercely. Replace endless scrolling with deep reading. Trade mindless noise for meaningful conversations. Choose content that expands you, not content that depletes you. Treat your mind like a sacred vault, because everything you allow in will eventually shape who you become. Yes, changing your environment can feel overwhelming at first, but what's even harder, admitting that your current environment is holding you back. It's painful to realize that certain friendships no longer serve you, that you've wasted months or years on content that added no real value. But the moment you become aware of this is the moment your power returns. The Stoics didn't sit around waiting for life to change. They took responsibility. And now, so must you, if your environment plays a role in shaping the person you become. Then here's a serious question: why allow it to shape you unconsciously? Don't wait for circumstances to magically shift. Don't rely on chance or time to fix what you're facing. Start with what you can control right now. Take a hard, honest look at your life. Who are the people you spend most of your time with? What does the space you live in feel like? And what kind of information are you feeding your mind every day? This reevaluation isn't for anyone else. It's not to impress others or meet their expectations. It's for you, because your mind deserves an environment that fuels growth, not one that drains or stunts it. You deserve a space where your thoughts can breathe, where your energy can expand, not shrink. And if any part of this message made you pause even just for a second, if it stirred something in you, or opened your eyes to the silent forces pulling you off track, then don't ignore that feeling. Leave a like, not just for me, but as a personal commitment. A quiet promise to yourself that you're ready to change, ready to choose better, and ready to build the strongest, clearest version of who you are meant to become. Point 6. Powerful tools to transform your energy. This final step in your journey is about learning to master your energy. Because energy isn't just what pushes you through your day, it's the force that sculpts your reality, influences your decisions, and shapes the quality of your life. A scattered mind is like a torch in the middle of a storm. It may shine for a while, but without protection, it flickers out, tossed around by chaos. To stay steady, to stay strong, you need 3 essential tools: gratitude, emotional detachment, and the ability to reprioritize. Let's begin with gratitude. This isn't just a nice thought, it's a conscious, intentional mindset. The philosopher Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." In simple terms, a wise person doesn't dwell in scarcity. He doesn't waste mental energy on everything he doesn't have. Instead, he celebrates what is already his. When you actively practice gratitude, something powerful happens. You stop seeing your life through a lens of lack and begin to notice how much beauty opportunity, and meaning already surrounds you. Your energy shifts from frustration to peace, from desperation to fullness. And in that state of abundance, there's no space left for anxiety, jealousy, or comparison. But gratitude alone is not enough. Once you begin to value what you have, the next step is protecting that energy, shielding it from unnecessary chaos. That's where emotional detachment becomes a vital discipline. Picture your mind as a still lake. Every emotional reaction, anger, frustration, panic is like a stone thrown into that water. Ripples form, clarity vanishes. Over time, you no longer see clearly. The Stoics knew that peace doesn't come from controlling the world. It comes from mastering your response to it. When you choose not to react blindly, when you learn to observe without absorbing, you keep your lake still. You preserve your energy. You stay clear. This doesn't mean becoming cold or emotionless. It means becoming wise. It means understanding that not everything deserves a reaction, and not every reaction deserves your peace. And once you've calmed the noise, the final step is this: reprioritize. How many times have you felt drained, not because you did too much, but because you gave too much energy to things that didn't matter? How often do you find yourself worrying over distractions, while what truly matters sits untouched in the background? Seneca once said, "Time is never in short supply. We just fail to use it well," and he was right. If you don't take charge of where your energy goes, the world will decide for you. And when that happens, your days will be consumed by the trivial notifications, opinions, petty drama, while your true priorities fade into the background. But it doesn't have to be that way. When you reclaim your energy, when you choose how to spend it with clarity and intention, you begin to shape a life that actually reflects your values, a life that feels aligned, a life that matters. To follow the natural flow of our last point, when you begin focusing inward, your energy returns to you, and from that place of stillness, your power grows. The Stoics deeply understood this truth. They refused to scatter their energy across distractions. Instead, they channeled all their strength into what truly mattered. No more chasing the superficial. No more wasting energy on things that held no lasting value to help them stay grounded. The Stoics relied on three powerful tools, like three unshakable pillars of inner strength. Gratitude helps. You recognize the worth of what you already have. It brings your mind back to the present, to the richness that's often hidden in plain sight. Emotional detachment protects your peace. It acts like a filter, blocking out the chaos of things that don't deserve your energy. Reprioritization ensures that you're spending your energy wisely on things that align with your values, not just urgent distractions. When you combine these three tools, something begins to shift. You stop getting pulled into emotional storms. You no longer waste your energy chasing things that don't matter. And most importantly, you stop feeling trapped by worries that were never yours to carry in the first place. Instead, you become calm, steady, grounded, more in control of yourself than ever before. But in the end, it always comes down to this: your choice. You can continue letting the outside world control your peace, or you can take your power back. You can keep chasing what you don't need, or start appreciating what you already have. You can keep reacting to every noise around you, or learn to observe it without letting it shake your center. You can let your energy scatter, or you can direct it toward what truly matters. The choice has always been yours. And as a Stoic, you know that no one but you has the right to make that decision. We've just explored 6 powerful Stoic lessons principles that can restore balance and clarity and help you live with strength, focus, and freedom. But wisdom is only useful when it's applied. You can stay where you are, letting the uncontrollable shape your path, or you can shift your direction and focus on what you can control yourself. So ask yourself, honestly, where is my energy going? To endless anxiety, to meeting everyone's expectations, or to my own personal growth? Because when you shift your attention inward, cultivating your mindset, mastering your emotions, and letting go of what no longer serves you, you don't just change your life, you radiate a quiet power that others can feel. If this video made you reflect, if you found meaning in this message, take a moment to hit the like button. It's the simplest way to say, I'm on this path to dot. And if someone came to mind while watching, share this with them. Maybe they need this reminder today. Don't forget to subscribe, because this journey of inner strength and self-discovery is just beginning, and I'd be honored to walk it with you. Your life is yours to shape, and that change begins right now.